Catwoman #3, Joëlle Jones, writing and on most of the art, although there's a flashback sequence by, I think it's Fernando Blanco, I think.
Which I like when they do that. I like when it's a different story within the story. So, if an art thing needed to happen.
Yeah, well, it was a neat way. I mean, let's say it was kind of intentional, where, okay, like, I'm going to fall behind every couple issues, so I'll make sure there's a flashback or something that can be given to another artist, so it doesn't feel weird.
Yeah, it's not just like where we get random pages by a different artist. Like, there's a purpose this looks different. So, but I will say that the more that Joëlle Jones writes and draws this, I think the better the art looks. Because I think she's hitting her groove now. Because her pages in this I thought looked really good. And it's not like there's a whole lot of action either.
Yeah.
So
we start the issue where we left, because last time we ended with her going to this, it ended up being with the Creel's son, right? And he's basically there to say, hey, our family owns this town, nothing happens here without our say-so, and we're okay with you being here, but you're going to have to agree to some rules. And Selina being Selina's like, I'm just here for some personal stuff, I'm not sticking around, like, I'm not following your rules. So she has
also
to
like, oh, you want me to follow the rules? I'm not following your rules.
Yes. So she has a hasty exit, although she gets mad because her smoke pellets don't work. They don't go off, they just kind of fizzle out, and she's like, damn it. Shoddy smoke bombs.
Run away.
Yeah. This is the thing. You're living with Batman, all those smoke bombs are going off. They are primed and ready. They are the quality smoke bombs.
That's Fox Tech, though.
Yeah.
That's a different breed.
This is black market
whether it
crap.
was Luke Fox or his dad. Yeah.
So she does that, and Joe, what I really liked about this is she gets kind of hurt as she gets like thrown out the window, and then later on when she's like, I'm suiting up and going outside, and we see she's in the bath and she's kind of like bruised and cut all over. I like that when she goes back out in her suit and she's like, going along the skyline and she's like jumping across the rooftops. She actually at one point she stops and goes, like she's actually in pain. She's struggling to do her Catwomaning. And I like that. I like that she's being human right now, and that was a nice touch. That was cool. And then her sister's there.
The old woman. Oh yeah. We end up seeing her sister that's in a asylum.
Yeah, in a wheelchair at the end of the issue. So we're doing some personal stuff, and we have not seen her sister in a long time.
I think since the Brubaker stuff that made her go insane because of Black Mask.
Was she not in Gotham City Sirens, I would say? Or was that the same time or before?
I don't remember. No, the Brubaker stuff was mid-2000s.
Right, okay.
Gotham City Sirens was later, or it might have been even earlier 2000s. But that's the last time I remember hearing about her sister. So I don't know. So if anybody knows, hit us up.
Yeah, it's been a long time anyway. So it's nice.
I don't even remember her sister's name.
What I like about it is that it means that Jones has plans beyond just. I mean, even though I really like that Selina's feeling the effect of the wedding stuff, because I like that it's impacting both her and Bruce in different books, but I like that there's something more specific to Selina planned for the book, and that's kind of nice.
It's very much more standalone. It's not really tied to Batman outside of it being Catwoman. Like, this is Selina's book. This is her story. So, and it would make sense that she has some residual effects from the wedding, but that's not what this is only about.
Yeah. Although I feel like maybe the reason why she felt the need to come and see her sister is probably as a result of that. I can see that being part of the motivation, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely.
The flashback we get is actually the Creel woman.
Origin.
I can't remember. What was her first name?
Yep. I can't remember. I just call her the old lady.
Yeah, the old lady. So her husband, who's dropping out of the senator or the mayor race or whatever position he's going for, he's dropped out.
I think.
Yeah, he's dropped out because he has got cancer, and he asks her to tell him about her first husband. And what she tells him doesn't quite line up with the art that we see. We see the story of her murdering her husband when she says, he committed suicide and she got his money, and is really quite dark and sinister.
Not just murder, but completely take out his whole family till that she's all that he has left, and then finally takes him out.
They're doing that Sixth Sense thing where you think the mom's poisoning all the kids, but it's secretly her. We know it's secretly her, and then she eventually kills him, and basically she's like, I pulled strings behind your back. I did all these criminal activities to make sure your campaign went well, things you never knew about. So you get the impression that he didn't know about all the crime side of the family and what they're doing. And she's like, well, now what are you good for? And she takes out a syringe and goes to kill him. So Governor candidate Creel ain't looking so hot after this issue.
No, not too much, and we'll see her spin it to where she gets to run.
I think so. I think
I
she's
like,
gonna go. Yeah.
I like that Selena has a proper villain here. That it complements her very well. Because this could have easily been Selena in a different, timeline. Her doing stuff like this. Because we saw that in King's whole Sideways universe with Booster.
Oh sure, yeah, that was a bit more rabid, I think. Whereas this is a more calculated, kind of vindictive thing. And I think what I do like though is that it isn't just evil Selena. It's not just like the evil version of Catwoman. It's not reverse Catwoman. It's someone who has a very malicious and different style. And I think there's a neat idea that she married into money because Selena almost married into money. So there's some parallels to make there and how different she is because of how she treats it. So it's interesting.
I still don't get what the Creels are doing, dressing all those girls up like Catwoman. I'm still not 100% what that actual plan was. Basically, outside to draw her out, but that seems like a lot of work.
Well, that's basically what he says at the start. She just says to him, you got my attention with all the stupid Catwoman outfits, and he's like, yeah, I admit that was my idea. And that sounds like the end of it. It doesn't sound like something we're going to be coming back to.
Yeah. No, but it seemed like at the beginning that was going to be like these whole imposters are, So that was a weird story choice, I think. Like, because it was a big red herring.
Yeah, it was a red herring. So, that's the way to put it. Yeah. No, this issue was pretty good. It flowed quite. It's probably the best flowing issue of the three, I think, so far.
Yeah.
I'd say that much.
Yeah, her art is definitely picked up in the first issue.
It seemed like the corrupt cop was actually wanting to help her because he tried to whisper to her during the fight, "Hey, I can help you," and she doesn't listen to him and hits him anyway. But I think that'll be something we come back to, that he's actually trying to change allegiances or play both sides or whatever he's doing. So worth noting out. As you say, Joëlle Jones's art's pretty damn good at the best of times. So,
like you said, that expression of her wincing. Because she fell out of that roof, landed on a car and gets up and still walks away, so to see her in all that pain, she nails the expressions.
Yeah, so. And the place she's staying, it's a bit on the nose, the metaphor, but referring to her as a stray and the guy shouldn't get attached and want to take care of her. So it's a bit on the nose because she's Catwoman, cats, but still, it works. It works.
But it fits. I like it.
Yeah. What are you giving it? What are you rating it?
This was an 8, I thought. I liked the backstory of the governor's wife and how dark and twisted that was. And I liked the art and all the stuff with Selena in this one. That was really, really good.
Cool. 7.5 for me, I think. I don't think I go quite as high as the 8, but I think it's on an upwards trend, which is nice. That's cool. And Connor just forgot to read this. It's not that he didn't want to, just for the record.
Yeah, it does say a little bit though, because I like the last 2 issues well enough. Yeah. But it says a lot about my priorities with the book that I didn't even register that I hadn't read it until like 5 minutes before we started.
I do want to point out that this was originally solicited for last week, and at least Comixology, if you go to the new books released from DC this week, it's not in the list because they've still got it marked as last week. So I don't know if whatever list you were looking at just excluded it, and maybe that's why you kind of missed it. But
maybe I missed it. Yeah, I just you were going through the list of books that we cover in the show. That we every week before the show we do that, and then I just went, shit, no, I just didn't read it. Just didn't even notice.